Hey, sixth graders, welcome to the first day of the rest of your lives. No, it's seriously though, it's a weird day, huh? I'm only talking to anyone who can't be in school today or is not Zooming with me, so I'm not talking to that many people today. So I'm going to go through this quick because this is kind of a backup. But the bottom line is use this if you miss school or if you come in late, something like that. So here's the dealio. We got today we're submitting our text feature Tango book creator project. Got some introduction stuff. We're going to read Sammy Lee and diary writing. So here's the number one thing I want you to look at is this right here, the rubric for your book creator project. So do not submit until you've looked at this. That's always the first rule of thumb is look at something so that you know everything you can about it. If some of this doesn't make sense or if any of this is confusing, then this is your chance to sort of like get those questions answered. All right. So make sure that you are taking care of your business. That's an important piece here. All right. So take a look through this. We got text features. I have to see all of them that I required. Text structures. I want to see 3 well-written paragraphs. And then polish and editing. I want to see that you spent time and effort. There's capitalization, spelling, sentences, all that kind of stuff is as good as it can get. All right. Now, when you talk about submitting it, I would freeze this screen so you can see what it is you need to do. These are the 14 steps, or you could watch this video that Mrs. Trudeau has so graciously given us to walk you through how to submit your book creator project. The bottom line is don't make a PDF, make it an EPUB, okay? All right, so that's that. So that's your first task for today is submit your book creator project, okay? Now, today, next thing you do, I want you to take just a couple of notes, really simple, is go to your reader's notebook, and I want you to take down the title Narrative Nonfiction, okay? And I want you to write down this definition. The reason why we're writing this down is it puts it into the brain, okay? It's not just like Mr. Slavy wants us just to take notes. No, there's a reason for it because it puts things up here when you write things down. There's a connection between handwriting, eyes, and brain. All right, so narrative nonfiction is a true story written in the style of a fiction novel. So someone's creating a story. That's important. But the story happens to be true. Okay, so we got narratives, right? You don't have to write any of this down, just this, a true story written in the style of a fiction novel. A story that you write or tell or someone usually in great detail. So narratives give details. The intense moments are details. And it can be poetry, like prose, which is what we usually read, song, theater or dance, whatever. A narrative is a story. And then we got nonfiction, which is not untrue. So it's true. So nonfiction is true. And since it's based on real things, telling that like a story can be very good at getting someone to understand or want to read the story. So bottom line is, you are writing your book creator project is an informational text, right? These are books that people put together to smush a bunch of information in someone's brain very quickly with images and text boxes and all the stuff we studied. Now, here's the deal, is that this is not like that. This is supposed to tell you a story. Now, there might be images, and there are for today, but the bottom line is this is about entertainment. That's informing you something that's true. And there's a bunch of ways to look at this. There's a billion books that do this, but there are a range of topics, right? So we got Let the Children March. This is based on March on Washington, which was during the Civil Rights Movement. We got Winnie, the true story of a bear who inspired Winnie the Pooh. So if you didn't know it, Winnie the Pooh is based on a bear. And then we have I Dissent. This is the story of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who passed away this year. She was a Supreme Court justice and a powerful, amazingly inspirational woman. We got One Plastic Bag, the recycling women of the Gambia. So this is a story of something that is real. And then we have down here the King of Sting, which is this guy, Coyote Peterson, goes around and lets stuff sting him. And this particular book is the story of a particular wasp. So that's that story. Everything's true here. It's all true. It's just told in a story form. Now today, you are going to read about Sammy Lee. And Sammy Lee is a diver. He was Asian. He has passed on now, but his story is a story of surviving through racism and not given opportunities. And it's written by this author, Paula Yu, who's a very, very, very popular writer. And the thing about it that what we're going to do is this is Sammy Lee in real life. Like I said, he's passed on. He's old. He's got a story that goes back quite a few years, and he is an Olympic champion. This is the story for today. So you're going to click on this, and then Mrs. Trudeau is going to read you the story based on this book right here, 16 years and 16 seconds. Okay, so it's about 13 minutes. Okay, so that would be the thing to do now. All right, after you've watched her read the story, you've read the book, you've kind of seen it. What we're going to do is, I actually in class I will have these sheets, but for you, in the Schoology I have a link to this file, and you can, if you wanted to, you could handwrite it and take a picture, or you could probably download the file and send it to Notability and write on that. Bottom line is I want you to consider climbing into the head of our topic. So I want you to try to think about the story. You heard it, you listened. Now I want you to sort of pretend to be Sammy Lee, and I want some diary entry. So basically, you don't have to choose all of these questions. I would like you to consider one or two. But I want you to write for about 15 to 20 minutes. If you think that you cannot and you run out of things to say, A, you need to work on having more things to say and be more creative. B, what I'd like you to do is I want you to find a way to go on to the next question. So you want to try to write and fill up a page. I'd like handwriting, but again, I'll handle the Notability. But these are all questions. How would you feel winning the gold medal? Think about that. Don't just say, I would feel good. It's a lot more than that. After the story, you should be considering how big of a deal it is. Or describe a Wednesday when you were finally allowed to go to the pool. Think about the first time that he ever got a chance to get past the racism. How did you feel walking by the pool on other days? What would it be like to experience racism as an Asian person? During a time when racism was very common, how would you feel about being an Asian American then? How about this one? What might Sammy Lee say about today, right now in 2021, how Asian people are seen and treated? Has it gotten better? Is it still bad? If you've been paying attention to the news, there's some things that have been going on with Asian people. And then lastly, maybe you just want to consider a different perspective for Sammy Lee. So here's the goals for today. First of all, number 1, submit that book creator project. 2, take short notes on narrative nonfiction. 3, read 16 years and 16 seconds with Mrs. Trudeau and me, and then write in a diary form for about 15 to 20 minutes. The only thing you're turning in today is this. That's important. Okay? All right, there you go, people. That's the layout. Email me with questions. Happy return to normal-ish.